All right, welcome to Chop Up TV, everybody. I'm here with Triboro Gigolo, my man. We're just gonna chop it up for a little bit, just discuss some stuff, whatever's on our mind. We hope y'all follow, and if y'all like videos like this, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel, grow this channel, so that we can provide more content that's in line with what we think. Not we, but what everybody likes to think and talk about. You know what I'm saying? So that we can have those in-depth conversations and hear the stuff that we like to. Some stuff that's out there for us. A lot of stuff is not catered for us. A lot of stuff is catered to others, and then we just get. But everybody say what's up to Triboro.
What up?
Oh man, hey. So I was I picked the missus up for my lunch break, right? And I'm gonna just get right into it, yo. So I picked this up for my lunch break, and it's raining or whatever, and we have one of them little moments, like she get in the car, it's drizzling a little bit. Erykah Badu is on the radio. You know what I'm saying? We riding through the city. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one of the moments that you see, like in the videos, where it's like, you know what I'm saying? The dude is with his girl. You know what I'm saying? They having a little moment or whatever. So we ride and we just start, just talking about just like the most random of stuff, nothing too heavy, but we just start talking like what it was like, because now you know what I'm saying, we eat at expensive places and wear these expensive fly outfits and drive these expensive cars, man, and don't really have no bills. But when we first got together, dog, is the complete opposite. It was like, I'm borrowing somebody's car to pick up from cross town. Saying I'm broke, working a bad shift for a bad jerk boss. You know what I'm saying? And so we started reminiscing on that. And so our joint come on. I forget what the Erykah Badu song is, but I think it's Other Side of the Game or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the joint. So come on.
Yeah.
And we like catch a vibe reminiscing on how things used to be back in the day. And at first when we started talking about, when we started reminiscing, I was like, man, we silly as hell. Old ass. We got our old asses in the car thinking about stuff that happened 30 years ago, 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But then when she started talking, she grabbed my hand, start talking about, how she was working her temp job and hope that the company will put her on full time so she can, have some bennies and stuff. And, and so I'm like, man, relationships kind of like the time frame can kind of get away from you. You know what I'm saying? If you let it, like the years that go by so fast that you almost forget how important the person is to you.
Right.
So yeah, so I was like, let me get on here. I need to, get my mans on here to see what's going on with me. Is Uncle Freezie did Uncle Freezie slip on a banana peel and bump his head? Or is this like in line with what it's like getting older and realizing that the people in your life are more important than what you give credence to?
I think you like, the more older you get, the more wiser you become, and realize that maybe certain things that happen in your life for a reason, and believing that certain people are brought to your life for a reason, and whether it's to make you happy or to realize that like you gotta cut certain people off or whatever. And I've always believed that I'm not really like big on like religious or karma or whatever, but I just feel like sometimes people are brought into your life for a good reason. So I think you got to cherish the people in your life, whether it's family and friends. I mean, because tomorrow's not promised to nobody, and I realized that over the years, like losing a lot of family members.
Right.
I'm just grateful for the people that I still have that's here breathing, a part of my life.
Right. Right. No doubt. No doubt. I was it dawned on me because with me, man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm really the complete opposite. Right. I mean, I try to respect people, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I try to respect people, and I try to be real with people. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. But occasionally, people will say, these people will be like, Uncle Freezie, man, maybe you could have did such and such better. Like maybe when such and such was doing something, you could have been more open and like been like, man, look, my man just now starting his thing. Maybe you could have been more supportive. And I'm like, what? I mean, shit, I was there. I mean, what? And not in no disrespectful way. I don't mean it like that, but sometimes it will. And then I used to think it's because of where I was from. I was like, where I'm from, cats don't really be showing, cats don't really be soft like that with certain things. You know what I mean? Like, you can't let nobody, you know what I'm saying? You really can't really be like, showing like an emotion like that, basically, because dudes like take that the wrong way, and then you know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying. So but anyway, so I found myself like over like the past couple of years or so in this thing where I guess I put like not really. I'm in a mode where I waste less time on stuff that's not important, and then make sure that I spend more time going out of my way to make sure stuff that's important. The people that do important stuff realize that I'll be there to like support them with their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking to the missus, like, and she like, talking about how, about 25 years and about 25 pounds ago, we were different people, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. And how the like these moments or whatever that like just sitting in the car during your lunch break is important to the missus, and how it should be important to me, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, it ain't nothing but lunch. Shit, it's raining out. So it ain't nothing but
I think like when it comes to loved ones, you always got to take that time, that little extra time out to appreciate them, supporting you and loving you for all these years. It might not seem like nothing to you, but like to that person, it might be their everything. It might be thinking about like, oh, like I gotta spend time with so and so and just have lunch with them this week. And just their presence mean a lot. So I definitely would, if that was anybody that I cared about, I would definitely go out my way. I don't even see it as going out my way, just being there for that person that's your day one and your loved one and all that, and just supporting them, whatever it is that they do, and hopefully they return the favor. And it's important. I mean, because like I said, like you never, tomorrow could be your last, and you never know. So it's important to appreciate them while they still here.
Right. Well, I got asked, and this is weird, man. To me, I got asked, man, I was just minding my business, just like, walking through the spot, and this girl, she like crying, and with me, I'm like, what you crying for, girl? I'm like, I joke at work all the time, right? So just to let people know, you know what I'm saying, because I'm a big dude, so people be thinking I'm menacing if I'm not smiling, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at first I used to be like, well, whatever, if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. But then at the same time, you want people to have a certain comfort level with you. Like, will they be, be willing to be open and talk with you from a place that they feel safe or whatever. So anyway, then she crying. I'm like looking at her phone. I'm like, girl, why you crying? Chris Brown took his Instagram page down. So she look at me and starts. But you could tell, you know what I'm saying? She was like, I'm like, what's wrong with you? So she like, yo, Uncle Freezie, my dudes is so immature. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, what the hell I done walk into? You know what I'm saying? There's like a hornet's nest right here just about to happen in real time. Like, you know, you don't want to say. In my mind, I'm like, I really don't want to talk about this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Right. At the same time, you don't want to come off as being that person that don't care about nobody. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, it's like the dudes, they walk up to me and dudes always like asking me advice about something. I mean, I don't even know why. They just feel comfortable. Like the young, you know what I'm saying? The young fellas, they always asking me for advice. That's why they be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like Uncle Freezie to them, because they come to me like, they be like, Uncle Freezie, man, my phone bill due, man, but I won't really want to take this chick out, man. She was like, yo, if I don't take her out, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, is she that important? You want to take her out? And dudes be like, yeah. I'm like, but you broke. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, why you broke? You know you like chicks. Why you broke? And so I give them some advice and maybe like give them $10 or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they have a comfort level with me. But these girls though, all of a sudden, is like they like coming to me, and I'm like, this is something new. Let me ask you this before I get into that. Let me ask you this: them young fellas be talking to you like that?
I get like sometimes I want to say young, like people that I grew up with. Like I got a homeboy that I knew for like 20-something years. Like he had problems with his ex-girlfriend at one point, and more than on one occasion that he asked me about it, and I would just tell him what from my opinion. I wouldn't tell him exactly what to do, but I feel like if you're gonna ask me my opinion, I'm gonna tell you. And he had a situation with like ex-girlfriend, and like her baby daddy was still like lingering around in her life, and he wanted to know what's the situation with her and her baby daddy. She still have feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just like give him advice about what I think, but not telling him what to do. I mean, he's still a grown adult, so you got to make that decision on his own. But I just told him, follow your heart and don't get your judgment clouded by emotions and feelings, because if you are being played, you know what I'm saying, that would be a bad look. You know what I'm saying? And I never got like ex from like younger. It'd be like my people that I know, but they like might be they don't really have to be an age thing out. I mean, they could be older than me and they might ask me something and what I think about it. So
That's true.
I mean, I just tell them how I feel in that, and if that was me in that situation.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that happened a couple of times.
Well, you know what? Yeah, and you got an excellent point there. What was I guess what I said, I made a general statement, but it was more personalized. So I probably need to clear that up. Like, and me in my situation right now, I get asked a lot of questions by young cats. So it's just a situation where I guess cats feel comfortable. They can pull me to the side and talk to me about stuff. And for the record, the people that watch Chop It Up, man, all y'all that know Uncle Freezie from whatever walk of life, y'all know I don't look to give out advice. That's not me. Usually I like to try to mind my business, stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? Unless I see somebody doing something crazy, and I would advise them on the spot. But I'm not really. I don't mentor anybody right now, or nothing like that. I just like dudes put me to the side and be like, hey, you know, Uncle Freezie, she bad, ain't it? You know, I want to take her to such and such. And I'm like, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? You gotta, like, I'll give you an example. And I ain't gonna get away from what the girl asked. I'm gonna just clarify this point. Just so the young fellas will be like, man, we don't get paid till such and such day. And she want me to come over. She want me to slide through this weekend. Man, I'm broke. Like, hey, dog, my advice would be this, you know, understand what your commitment level is, and then, you know, move forward accordingly. Like, for instance, if she really feeling you and, you know what I'm saying, just was waiting for the right time to kind of, you know what I'm saying, get her confidence up or her comfort level with you in order to at least do something, then I would say, then, you know, take your time, understand what you're dealing with. Now, if you just looking to, you know, to bag a bad chick and you know y'all work together, I don't advise that. I don't advise, you know what I'm saying, that type stuff at work. And you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, and I tell them, like, dog, I know she bad. I know this. You know, every time she walk by, all y'all swing your heads. And everybody be like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, if you look into, you know what I'm saying, if you look into like step into a relationship, maybe I would say, you know, take your time and maybe like check out who she is. But dog, don't this is me. This is just me talking to Chop It Up. And for those that watch this video, take this advice. This is a good one. Don't mess around with people at work, basically, is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? Because if it don't work out, guess what? Y'all still co-workers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still co-workers. And I ain't want to be in the break room like she in there crying, you know what I'm saying? And then now you trying to find a ride home because, you know, I ain't want, don't do it. If trust me, from my old head, don't do it, because some things ain't worth it. But to what my man was saying, like with the young fellas, to say, hey, Uncle Freezie, yeah, I want to do such and such, man, and man, I don't know. I'm like, hey, dog, it's gonna be, do you like her? And you say she alright, hey, dog, just move on. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't one of them situations where you feel like y'all gonna have something, don't take that risk at work, right? But back to the girl. With the girl, she asked, she was like, why men so immature? Why they always be trying to, you know, play girls? And I'm like, I look at it and I knew what to say to her, but sometimes it's not the message that you send and the context you want to send it in may not be appropriate for what she wants to hear, right? Because the last thing I want to do is give her the real advice, and then both of us wind up in HR. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, what came to me? You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh, and then also at the same time, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, give her some advice that's going to ruin her day. And then she she don't know how to separate who I am as a person from who I am as somebody that works with her. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like on it. So I tell her, I'm like, listen, men are not mature all the way like women. Women mature because they have this thing where, from the time they start coming into adulthood, they understand who they are as a person, right? Fellas, and I know the fellas out there that watch Chop It Up or whatever, like the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel anyway after I say this and y'all get mad, fellas. The fellas growing up, when they like coming into manhood, they don't know who they are as a person. They want to be LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Nas. You know what I'm saying? They want to be all these different people. You know, they have these skewed dreams of who they are as people. And I'm just saying this in general, but at the same time, it does kind of apply to a lot of people. Like dudes don't necessarily know who they are as men. And a lot of that got to do with a lot of them don't have other men around them to set the example. So they just playing it by ear. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes don't respect their girl because, you know what I'm saying, they ain't had the example of a dude around them that respected their girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, this situation where they holler at every chick that they can holler at and then try to juggle it. I don't have no human nature tell you that when you're a young man, you need to play the field. Like go out there and see what it is that you like. You know what I'm saying? And then once you find out what you like and what you don't like, then you start looking for Mrs. Right. You know what I'm saying? But girls are be different and they don't understand that. So I told that to the young lady. Dog. So I tell her, and she go tell like two of her work friends, and now like I'm in this room, like we all conferenced up talking about stuff that I don't like to talk about at work or at home. I don't like talking about relationship stuff, dog. Not with girls, not with females. I mean, is it necessary?
I think maybe for the female, they want to know where your head is at on when it comes to love and relationships, and you know, picking your brain, you know, to see like, you know, well, what does he think about this, or you know, man, let me ask you that, and you know what I mean, like, you know what I'm saying. So, I could see why they would want to ask you about it. You know, I'm assuming. You know?
But try, we old heads, dog. We done got out of that part right there where, dog, I just told you my Janet Jackson story the other day. Like I felt like I had to shoot my shot, right? Because I was a young dumbass. Because I was immature. I'm like 22, and Janet Jackson is right there. I feel like I gotta shoot my shot. Right. You know what I'm saying? That I don't know if that's immaturity. Maybe I'll tell you what. So maybe it's maturity, and maybe it's some of that acting on me having a crush. Because I remember watching and had a little like one of those puppy love crushes on her, and I think that led to me thinking I had to shoot my shot. But I think a lot more of that had to do with immaturity, though.
I mean, as a guy, I think we naturally feel like at some point, you know, at a certain age that we can get with any female, you know, whether she a celebrity or normal, you know, regular, when you walk in the street. So, I mean, I think I would have probably did the same thing. I mean, but you never know if you don't try. So,
right.
You didn't take that chance with hollering at Janet. You never know. You'd probably be more, I would think, questioning yourself, like after all these years, like, yo, I should have took my shot with Janet.
Right.
Like when you did take your shot, at least you know the outcome. So.
Right. Well, for the record, Janet, if you watching, I'm married, and Mocha will fight. But yeah, man. So it kind of put me back, like one of those things. Like, I'm also asking myself, are we turning into old men? You know what I mean? Like are we turning into like, are we at that stage where we starting to turn into old men? Like, you know, random kid, well, not kids, because they like in the early 20s. Right. You know what I'm saying? Asking you for advice and stuff.
Right.
You know, do you feel like I feel like they asking me because I feel like grandpa to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want to feel like grandpa to nobody, dog. I don't.
I think you're only as old as you feel. So I could be 80 years old. I'm gonna still rock on the Yankee fitted, and I'm gonna still listen to hip hop, and you know what I'm saying. So
Right,
I think
right,
you're only
right,
as old as you feel, and you know, some people maybe they're going through like a midlife crisis. They do.
right,
I think they kind of like go out of their way to make themselves feel young again. They might buy a sports car, you know,
right,
or, you know, try to talk to like a younger woman like at their
right.
age, but uh, you can't like think like that. So you just got to be yourself. You know, if younger people are asking you, coming to you for advice, then that, you know, that's a good thing. Like that means like you're just wiser now than you was 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. You slipped that in there real slick. I noticed what you slipped in there. That was real slick what you slipped in there. All right. So, so that was real slick. Okay, I'm gonna just rock with the wisdom thing, and just yeah, that was real slick. But the thing is though is it makes me think, like, how do people know to come talk to you? Are they like are they talking amongst themselves? And like say for instance, are they like, man, I was really feeling down, man, and then I talked to Triboro, and Triboro hit me with these gems. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then somebody else, the person you're talking to, is like, yo, Uncle Tri, can I holler at you for a second? And you're like, girl, I just put my lunch in the microwave. And they can be like, well, take it out. I just need a few minutes. You're like, dog it. You know what I'm saying? And then they asking you these questions like, so I got asked the other day by this dude, real sharp dude, got his stuff together. He like 25-ish, something like that. So he like, yo, Uncle Freezie, how you know when it's time to break up with your girl? And I'm like, why you gonna ask me that? I mean, why? Because I wouldn't know because I'm not there. This is what I'm saying in my mind, right? I'm like, how would I know? I'm not there to see what y'all go through, right? And then secondly, and probably most important, is whatever you say to this dude, he might base his decision, you know what I'm saying, on breaking up with this girl. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He like this. He like, Uncle Freezie, every time I come home, her mama and her sister there at the house eating, you know what I'm saying, watching stuff off the DVR. And I'm like, He like, every time I come home, her mama always trying to give me advice on how to be a man. And I'm like,
That's still not enough to me.
Right. And so he like, man, she be on me, you know what I'm saying, about these bills, man. And, you know, she always on me about the fellas coming over and such. So I just broke it down for him. I was like, hey, dog, she is preparing you to get married and you don't know it. Right. Because all those things, because what's going to happen is she want to know, and her mother want to know, and her sister want to know, is going forward these next few years, is she going to be the most important person in your life? You know what I'm saying? And they trying to get you ready for that. And he like, hell no, I ain't trying to. I mean, I love her, but I can't deal with all these women. So I'm like, hey, dog, do you like her? He's like, nah, man, I love her. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, we've been through so much, you know what I'm saying? We just ain't ready to tie the knot. And I was like, yo, so y'all been through a lot. So he's like, yeah, man, I was with her when she was finishing school. She helped me pay off these student loans, man. And when I wasn't working, she was like ironing my clothes so I can go to these job interviews and all that stuff. And as soon as I get this good job, she changed. I was like, so I'm like, dog, she ain't really changed on you like that. She was actually supporting you in a way that you hadn't been supported before. And you know what I'm saying? And it just might feel funny that y'all at that stage where it might be time for you to, you know what I'm saying, ask her what she doing for the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? He like, ask her what she doing for the rest of her life. Yeah, dog, you might need to ask her what she doing for the rest of her life and commit to it. But he was like, so this is his thing. His thing is, man, I got some stuff that I really want to do before I get married. And so I asked, like, Jay, how important is that stuff that you talk about doing before you get married? He was like, it's real important to me. So I'm like, Jay, and listen, I'm gonna change the name of my man, even though his name starts with Jay. But Jay, if you see this video, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about somebody else. So anyway, he like, I just got some stuff that I want to do before I get married. And I was like, well, did you ask her what she wanted to do before she got married? And he was like, hell no, I don't want to have that conversation with her about marriage. So I'm like, hey, dog, if I was you, I don't know if I'd be talking to her about breaking up, right? What I would do is talk to her about where y'all are at in your relationship, and if both of y'all are on the same plane, if y'all on the same level. Ideally, you want her to be a few steps ahead, because girls are just be more mature in a way like that than guys. You know what I'm saying? You want her thinking about where she's gonna be at down the road. You need to be thinking about where you at down the road, but you need to make sure that you know, not only committing to her and her family, but committing to yourself.
What things is it that he wants to do before? I mean, because if it's like the things I'm thinking it's like he wants to talk to other women and play the field. But if you have a woman that's down for you and she's ironing your clothes and making sure you eat right and all that, that's wifey to me. So I mean, that I'd rather pick wifey than all the other chicks out there.
Who, Jay? Jay thinking about no other girl.
I mean, when you say like he wants to do other things, what other things that he wants to do?
I think he want to do like, I think he want to get like a real estate license or something.
Oh, okay.
And get like you know, established first, no. and you know what I'm saying, like put some bread back before he do, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And Jay, if you watching this video, you better not be talking no trash about me later on for saying. But anyway. So, but anyway, yeah, he wanted to do stuff like that, man. That cat, man, he a mama, man. Jay, that ain't playing no field. He a mama's boy, dog.
Hey, I mean, I grew up in a single parent household. It was just me and my mom, and I never knew my pop. So, I mean, I just think differently. I see from like a lot of other people. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I think, but again, it's like if you have a woman that's been there with you from the beginning, it's like the other stuff shouldn't matter. Like if you're gonna get the license and all that, she's still gonna be there. So I mean, that shouldn't really matter, you know.
Right. Nah, my man is like, my man is definitely. I would say he is definitely, you know what I'm saying, a good kid, man. He ain't trying to do. But what it is, and so I had to tell him what he don't realize is she trying to get that kid out of you. You know what I'm saying? She wants you to be a man, like her man going forward, but you can't be her man going forward and still a kid at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So she trying to get that play out of him, and he don't realize it. So, but all he realized is the friction, because two things that rub up against each other are going to create friction, right? But he don't know that. He feel like she trying to boss him around, and maybe it's time to move on. And she like trying to, you know what I'm saying, get this dude, you know what I'm saying, to be the man, you know, that she want him to be like 50 years down the road when they old and gray and they done live their life together. He don't realize that. So I told him that. He laughed. He laughed, you know what I'm saying? He's like, man, yo, he was like, yo, I swear everybody trying to, he's like, man, Uncle Freezie, y'all be trying to marry everybody. This ain't the 1800s, man. This is what he telling me now. You know what I'm saying? Him and his boys, they laugh at stuff like that. Like, why y'all trying to marry everybody off, man? This ain't slave days. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think like I don't want to say all men. I don't think all guys think like that. Like I don't think we think about marriage like how women do. You know what I'm saying? Like at least for me, like when I was a teenager, like I didn't think about marriage. It's like if it happened, it happened. Like I just
Right.
think about somebody treating me right, and vice versa. I didn't really think about like marriage. And it's like I mean, because people that plan that stuff out, sometimes they plan on go according to plan. So I
Right.
never really think about like marriage, and I mean if it'd be nice, but I mean if it don't happen, I don't feel like your life is over because you didn't get married or have kids.
Right. Right. You exactly right, man, with that. A lot of times the stuff that we plan, sometimes it backfire and sometimes it's just a bad plan.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes circumstances prevent, whatever it is from happening because the time is not right. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the things that are going on around you, sometimes the time is not right financially. Sometimes your commitment level is not up to your dream level. You know how you have this big dream that you want to get to, but your commitment level might not be there, and so sometimes they'll throw it off too. But with Jay, I think with Jay thing is this, man. He's 25. The girl like him. Her mother cares enough about Jay to make sure that she don't let her daughter make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So Jay got to look at that too. Like she there making sure her daughter is doing the right thing by him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all these things that when you're 25 you may not see it, but when you in your 40s you see all this stuff because you've been through that, or you have friends that been through that, or you done gained that experience some kind of way. But with the girl though, man, I mean, dog. So I have a daughter that's 21, right? And for the most part, I try to support her with her stuff, but stay out of her way because she's strong-minded like me. So she like, want to take the world by the horns. And basically what I do is try to support her. Like if she about to make a bad mistake, like if she gonna make a mistake, I'll be like, yo, hey baby, you might want to, you know what I'm saying, think this thing through. She'll be like, no, I got it. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. You live and learn. But if it's a bad mistake, like I jump in there and, you know what I'm saying, I'll fight, and then she'll be mad at me for like 3 days, 4 days, and won't text me back. You know what I'm saying? And then, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying, she know I only jump in and do like stand in the way if I think something's gonna hurt her. You know what I'm saying? If it's gonna knock her down and get her dusty, like if she get a bad job or something, like she make a bad career choice, I'm like, you sure? And then she'll be like, she'll make the mistake and dust herself off, and it'd be one to grow on. You know what I'm saying? But the girl that I talked to the other day, I guess she was like, man, dude gamed her up, you know what I'm saying, with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? She was by herself in school. I think she about to graduate from college or whatever, working, paying down her student loans and all kind of stuff. Right. And dude gamed her up, and it's like they trying to move in, and the next thing you know, some random chick got her number and sent her like pictures of the dude at her house.
Right.
But dog, it happens though.
Yeah, it does.
This happens.
Yep.
This happens. So what would you tell her, dog?
Does she need to leave him? I mean, women, they all emotional. You know what I'm saying? And there's women that their man could be doing wrong and they know it, and they still stay with that person because of the attachment to them. Already like fell in love with them. I mean, for me, I couldn't do that. Like the minute I see like a female that's talking to somebody else, I'm already out. So I'm not
Right.
gonna stay around and try to work it out. I mean, that's if they can't
Right.
see your worth, then that's on them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their.
Right.
There's somebody else gonna see it. You know what I mean? And I never been in no situation like that. Like I've been lucky enough to not be played or cheated on, and I never did that because that wasn't me. Like I don't want that done to me, so I'm not gonna do it to the next person.
Right.
Um, it's sad that a lot of women they go through stuff like that, and then they blame all men, like all men is the reason. But I think you gotta really know who you actually in bed with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And not look at it like, oh, it's the world's fault and all that dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Unfortunately, that's what it is. You're gonna come across. So I'll be honest. So you're fortunate, man, that you've been through like some situations where you can kind of save some heartbreak, whether it's for you or for some others. With me, dog. With me, I've been through like when I was younger, before I married Mocha. Hey, man, dog, everything. So, so for the Chop It Up fans out there, Uncle Freezie been through it and was putting people through it. You know what I'm saying? Be young and dumb as hell. When you young and dumb as hell, you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because sometimes like I used to be a heartbreaker because it made me feel good. Like breaking other people's heart made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? But what I didn't realize is there was something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Having to do something like that in order to make myself feel good. Like where was my self-worth? You know what I'm saying? I see them now. I see like I see some of them now, they be like, some cuss me out, you know what I'm saying? And some be like, hey, Uncle Freezie, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? But when I was younger, you know what I'm saying, I went through it. I went through the heartbreak, like dating an older woman, you know what I'm saying, had me a halfway decent job, dated an older woman, you know what I'm saying, was messing around, paying her bills for, helping her. And she seen her old man. And I'm like, and everybody telling me, and I'm like, man, nah, she would never do Uncle Freezie like that, man. You know what I'm saying? We be, man, pillow talk. She be throwing that pillow talk on my ear, man. She said she'll never do me like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, but all my boys is like, man, you a fool, dog. I seen her in the store. You know what I'm saying? With that old dude holding hands, spending your money. And you talking about she would never do it. I'm like, nah, man, y'all wrong, man. She would never do me like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I done been through it and did it to others. And I hate to say it's like a natural cycle part of learning or whatever, but when you, as a youngster, when you sowing your seeds trying to find out what you like, sometimes you're gonna step into them traps. And sometimes it's gonna be hard to get out of them traps. Some of them traps scar you up. You take them scars with you the rest of your life, some of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, excuse me, like, you know, walking in and like your roommate, you know what I'm saying, trying to bag your girl. You like, what is this? You trying to bag my girl, you nasty, but you be leaving dishes in the sink and my girl come over here trying to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then with girls go through the same thing, man. They go through these things where they be trying to find out if they really step into this next level of commitment with these guys, and they be like, okay, give me an example. So my man B was mad in the break room, slammed his lunch down on the table. I'm like, B, why you so mad you throwing food away, boss? So B like, yo, my girl want to come over my crib after work. And I'm like, so? I'm like, dog, okay, your girl want to come over to your crib after work. Right. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so? And he's like, man, Uncle Freezie, man, my boy's coming over. We're going to get on these sticks, man, that PlayStation. And I'm like, what?
Crazy.
Bruh. And so, all right. So here it is, universe, people that watch Chop It Up. Hey, I'll get on that PlayStation also, right? I'll get on them sticks. I'll play some 2K. I'll get on some Madden. You know what I'm saying? I'll get on there. If I got the time, you know what I'm saying? If I got the time, I'll get on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if Mocha be like, hey, I'm getting off work early, and I'll meet you at the house, I'll throw that damn PlayStation out the window. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but B was like, yo, man, I don't never get no time to hang out with my boys no more. Man, I be with her all the time, man. And she talking about she gonna come over. Man, she too clingy, Uncle Freezie. So I'm like, dog, listen, bruh. Girls are not puppies, dog. You can't just get them, while they adorable and all that stuff, and then when you trying to potty train them, you get mad and you want to throw them away. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that, dog. You're a person. You know what I'm saying? You can't do girls like puppies, man. They're not puppies. Like everybody want to get the pit bull puppy, the Brindle with the blue nose. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then when the puppy got your house stank because they ain't potty trained yet, you be mad. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that, dog. You got, it's a process. You got to take everything with them. If not, just tell her you ain't ready. Just slow down. Right. Like, listen, I don't want to break up. I just feel like so. B is like, she be like Uncle Freezie. She be over my house like every day, and I'm like,
and that's bad.
Bro, y'all kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, and I was like, B, I bet you, when y'all first got together, she didn't want to come over your crib. And he was like, yeah, in the beginning, but you talked her into coming over there, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, and now she coming over there, and then now you mad that she be coming over.
Exactly.
He was like, but just not every day. So here go my man, right? Here go my man. Man, she came over there and cleaned up my kitchen and cooked the other day, thinking she gonna stay. And I'm like, B, you in this like 1 bedroom bachelor joint, right?
Right.
That I know you don't keep it clean because of how you act at work, dog. I seen your car. I seen the inside of your car, dog. I don't never want to go to your apartment. You know what I'm saying? And he like, but she come over there and be cleaning up, man, and be moving my stuff. And I'm like, dog. So I tell B, I'm like, B, look, you're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to like, hey, we need to slow down because I'm not mature enough for this type relationship yet. I still want my apartment to be frat house. I want all my boys to come over and be sleeping everywhere and having this place be a mess, and we're going to play games all night till it's time to come to work. That's the life you want to live, right, D? You're like, well, not, I mean, yeah, but not kind of, you know how you hit somebody with the truth and the truth be hurting them, be cutting them up, and they be like, so I'm like, and then so he was like, yeah, and then my mama was like, you don't need to have no girl over there. I'm like, big dog, mom's is trying to look out for everybody. She don't want you to get hurt, but she a girl too, and so she don't want you to hurt no girl either. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we look at moms and they have, they older and they have gray in their hair and all kind of stuff, but you forget all those moms that's older, they was little girls one time. They were young women one time. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to see somebody else. You hurt a little girl for nothing. So he mad, boss. He mad at me. He ain't talking to me for like the rest of the shift. So I'm like, B, you ain't gonna mess with me, man. He's like, man, I ain't messing with you, Uncle Freezie. You play too much. I'm like, nah, dog, you and that girl, man. What you need to do is tell those dudes Like, hey, dog, um, I'm getting serious about this girl, man. So I'm gonna cut back on some of this PlayStation time.
Yep.
But you know what though? B in his 30s. He not like 20 something. So B one of them dudes. He ain't gonna never be like I told him, like, hey, dog, you ain't never gonna be. You know what I'm saying? One of them dudes that's gonna be like, you know, put this one foot in front of the other. You always gonna be like the frat house dude. The one thing about being a man is you got to understand who you are as a person. So if that's who you are as a person, man, you need to let that girl know. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think he got to be able to tell like his homeboys like, yo, like this is something what, you know, not think about what they're gonna, you know, think, and let them know like, yo, like you care about this female, let your boys
Right.
know, yo, like this, I gotta make time for my female, and you know, make time for, you know, his homeboys. But I mean, I've been in a situation like that where, you know, I had an ex and she was always at the crib on the weekends, and I had a homeboy that he didn't like it, and he was always, you know, he was in his feelings about it, and I'm like, I have to let him know, like, yo, like, you know, I gotta make time for her, and me and you always
Right.
gonna make time. So like, I known you since the second grade. You always gonna be homeboys, but I gotta make time for this female. If I'm coming to you and I'm telling you like, yo, like I like this female, and I care about her, then you should understand that it shouldn't be like an argument or anything. So I'm not been in that situation, but you gotta let them know. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't understand that, then um, that's on them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I don't think it shouldn't come down to you choosing your homeboys and the person that you care about. It should be an understanding from everybody.
Right. Right. I just don't. I just think, you know, being a man, I just don't think they don't understand where they at in life, and definitely don't know how to internalize it and communicate it to others. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for the most part, I know who I am as a person and am comfortable in my own skin. Like some stuff that may be cool for everybody else to do. If I ain't comfortable doing it, I ain't doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just who I am. And even though they'll rag me, they'll be like, man, come on, man. I'm like, nah, dog, I'm straight. I'm straight, man. I ain't like back in the days, dudes used to put some dip the blunt in some whatever, just whatever, right? Just put some stuff in the, you know what I'm saying, in the smoke or whatever, and I'll be like, no, dog, I'm straight. I'm good. I'm super good.
Yep.
Like, oh man, come on, man. You always the wet blanket, man. You peeing on the party. No, man, I'm straight. I'm straight. I just that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't now. I'll drink up all your liquor. I drink up all your chaser. but that right there is where I draw the line. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, it's one of them deals where you got to be comfortable with who you are. And I talked to B. I was like, B, man, you got to, if you comfortable, because what happened is, B, I'm like, dog, like your friends, man, half of them married. They come to your house just to get out the house, get away from their family, come to your crib. And he like, no, they don't do that. I'm like, dog, think about it now. Have these dudes, they married, they come to your house, you know what I'm saying, drink liquor, play the game, and then they go home to the missus.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying, you like, your little teeny house is like Animal House. It's like the party crib. You know what I'm saying? They're like, nah, man, why you always, Uncle Freezie, you always be you like, Uncle Freezie, what you got against light-skinned people, man? You always be trying to play us, man. I'm like, hey, I ain't trying to play y'all, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, it is what it is, boss. You know, when you get 30-something, you know, you got to start realizing who you are as a person. You got to start thinking about, like, you know, you know, all this stuff I worked on, went to school, paid back all these loans, am I the person that I wanted, that I said I was going to be 10 years ago? Like 10 years ago, when I looked in the future, I said I wanted to be a certain person. Am I that person today? And if you like, nah, then either what you said back then may have been off, or you weren't really focused on, you know what I'm saying, achieving that goal. Like your commitment level wasn't all the way there.
Right.
So, yeah, man. Let me ask you this, man, because something got me mad this week.
Oh.
So I saw the thing with Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
Dog, I ain't trying to get you to cuss on the internet. That ain't what I'm trying to do, right? I ain't trying to get you to blow your top on the internet. Now, I ain't trying to set nobody up, man. But look,
Okay.
a lady went to work and came home, right?
Mm-hmm.
People kicked in her door and shot her dead, right? I don't have all the details, but what I do have is this. I turn on my TV and I see a big black guy like myself handcuffed on the ground with somebody with a knee on his neck, and he calling out for his mama because he know that he gonna die and ain't nobody gonna help him, right? And the dude gets murdered with a video camera there, right? I see a dude jogging in Georgia get ran down by two white boys. Dude jump out the truck with a gun, right? They called the sheriff's department before. They're like, hey man, there's a black dude out here running. There's a black dude out here running. Really? So you get in your truck, you and your pops, and you jump out the truck and you pull a gun on him and wonder why he fighting you. Not realizing that you pulled out a gun on him and you shoot him in the stomach dead while people videotaping. And you wouldn't have said nothing. The people in Georgia wouldn't have said nothing unless that tape came out. You know what I'm saying? They would have swept that under the rug. So I watch a guy just running. I don't know none of the details before that. All I know is I see a guy running, a white boy jump out the back of the truck with a shotgun, shoot him in the stomach dead. Right? I see a dude, you know what I'm saying, with his kids in the car, you know what I'm saying, going through some stuff. And I've been in law enforcement before. I know law enforcement, right? I've been in law. I graduated from the South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy in 2000. So I'm watching this tape, and I know it's a different state. Now I know that's Wisconsin, and I graduated in South Carolina. But I see the protocol, the stuff they went through, and I see all the stuff that they was doing wrong. While I was watching it, I was like, oh no, they shouldn't have did that. Right. Oh no, why didn't they do this? And so dude walks to the car and dude shoots the dude in the back 7 times in front of his kids. And then I hear this thing about Breonna Taylor, about how she basically went to work. She worked for the county. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna say today they're gonna charge one guy, the other 2 gonna get off. The lady is murdered in her house. So as a black man, I'm thinking like, okay, so even if you do something wrong, you could still be murdered, right? If you didn't do anything wrong and you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, you can get shot in the back 7 times in front of your kids. Or you can do none of that stuff, come home to your safe place, and they can bust in your house and kill you, right? I'm thinking like, where is the justice in any of this? Or when are we going to start? When are minorities, blacks and browns and others, but specifically blacks, going to get treated like human beings? You know what I mean? There's at some point, you can't call us animals when you see us looting, right? Or rioting. Or peaceful protesting. We're peacefully protesting, and people on Fox News call us animals. Like, oh, they're animals. You know, looking to incite a riot. So there is no and I didn't have all this stuff written down, and I'm sorry for the people that watched the channel. I didn't have any of this stuff written down, and I didn't mean for it to be a monologue. What I meant for it to be is my um, expression of how I feel about, the violence and such against people that don't even do anything back. Like George Floyd was not fighting anybody. You know what I'm saying? Dude got shot in the back 7 times. He was not fighting anybody. Breonna Taylor was in her bed sleeping. She wasn't even fighting anybody, and people still wound up losing their lives through violence. I'm frustrated, but I understand too that being an activist and somebody that stands up for others takes stamina, and it takes grit, and it takes persistence. And the three things I think I've learned, the skills that I've learned since I've become an adult, mature man, is that I learned how to have grit, stamina, and persistence. And I think it's about time for us to do more than just talk about these things that happen to us. They're not unfortunate events. These things are not. These things are events that I'm not asking for people to retaliate. But what I am saying is that instead of us looking to have certain things changed, I think it's time for us to take action doing something.
I think we're at a point where Black people are tired of see, like when George Floyd got killed, like we took to the streets, but not everybody was in it for the right reasons of protesting. Like you got people that was looting. I don't feel like it made sense to loot from Macy's and Bloomingdale's, because that's not what the people that are truly in it for are doing. I don't really. I mean, I get the whole concept of, instead of like destroying our own in the community, like destroying the white man's stores, but what is that doing for us as a whole? Like if we loot, Polo and Gucci, what is that doing as a whole for our community? I didn't really see I didn't get why they were doing that. You know what I'm saying? But as a Black, like I've been stopped by cops more than once. This is nothing new. It's just something that happens. Every Black man has to go through it. That's what I've learned. And I didn't have anybody there to teach me, about how to act accordingly when it came to the cops. I was like 13 when I first got stopped. Coming home from school, going home and like where I lived, there was like a side of like park benches, and we have like a road, like a roadway, and there was like a cop car on the other side of me.
Right.
Made a U-turn just to stop me to ask for my ID.
Right.
And I gave them my ID, and they had like a computer in the car. They checked what school I was from and all that, and my ID back and asked me where I was going, and I said I was going home. And they left. And that was the first time. And the second time, I went to a beach. We had like a beach festival over here called Beach Fest back in the 90s. And I remember when after the festival was over and they stopped my homeboy. I was in the backseat of the car sleeping actually when this happened, and they stopped my homeboy, and I woke up. I heard the sirens. Like a motorcycle cop said that he made like an illegal turn.
Right.
To see his license and all that. And the last time I got stopped, it was in front of my house actually. It was, 2005, July 2005. Coming home from, it was an open mic night. There used to be a club called Club Pyramid, and I came home like after 1 in the morning, and I guess it was an unmarked police car. I guess they were following us. I don't know.
Right.
I remember my homeboy had stopped in front of my house, and just when I was about to get out of the car, I see like a car pulled up in back of us with sirens, and
right.
Two white guys. They got out the car and they had like their police badge around their neck.
Right.
They got their flashlights out, and they like looking through the car and asking us where we coming from and where we going. And I'm telling them like I'm ready to get out the car. Like I'm like my house is right there. I'm ready to get out the car. My homeboy's like chill, don't get out the car. And they're asking him for his ID and our ID, and I was pissed. Like I wanted to curse them out. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like I'm in front of my house and we minding our own business. Like what gives you the right to stop us for what? Like you're not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I remember telling my grandfather at the time about it. You know what I'm saying? And he was pissed. So I've experienced, what it's like to be stopped by cops, for the color of my skin. And
Right.
I just think, unfortunately, like, it's just something that goes on in this country, and other races feel like they're the better race than ours, and I guess they feel like black people are a threat to them. I never understood that. I wasn't raised like that. Like my mom and my grandparents always raised me to treat everybody equally, no matter what beliefs they have or race or whatever. And that is how it is for me. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever get peace in this country, like living all together. And you know what I'm saying? It's just a shame. It's bad, and you would think like the many when we had Obama in office that things was going to change, and I think people totally forgot about that after he left, and we got a president that don't care about what's going on.
Right.
These are like the dark times of this country. I just feel like we got to get Trump out of office, and hopefully, I think even with Trump gone, these things are still going to happen. I'm saying it's been going on for too long, and I think people are just tired of it, and taking action would mean physical harm to people. You know what I'm saying? That's what's taking action for me. Like enough with the protesting don't seem to work, because even when we protesting, this stuff is still going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like how much protesting do they want us to do? You know what I'm saying? Like black people are fed up where you have like your son or your daughter might not come home because of, you know what I'm saying, because of trigger happy cops or or people that feel like their race is better than ours. And I don't know, man. Like it's just
it's frustrating, and it's frustrating in a way because I ain't gonna speak for every black person, whatever, but I think I can speak generally in general terms. Generally, black people are patient and loving people that embraces everybody else's culture. You know what I'm saying? Like when something happened to black people, we forgive the hell out of people now. We forgive everybody. We forgive such and such. And what we also do, and I think it's slept on too, is we embrace everybody of culture. Like if you I think one of our favorite movies is Scarface, right? That wasn't even about black people, but we embrace that Scarface culture.
Exactly.
Right. A lot of us embrace the Asian culture, whether it's like eating Chinese, Cantonese food or whatever, or watching karate flicks. You know what I'm saying? We kind of embrace that, like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of welcome it. You know what I'm saying? As opposed, because I don't know if any other cultures embrace the Asian culture like that, but black people do. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. You can talk about whether it's Wu-Tang Clan, you know what I'm saying? Name what they say, you know what I'm saying? Or whether you The Last Dragon, you know what I'm saying? How we love Bruce Lee. A lot of us feel like Bruce Lee is almost black to us. You know what I'm saying? We love Bruce Lee. I mean, because it come from that Bruce Lee, come from that the Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee era of the very late 60s, early 70s, right?
Man.
We love other people's culture. We drive these fancy cars from other places, these German cars. You know what I'm saying? We embrace all that stuff, and a lot of us join the military, myself included. I'm an Army veteran, right? You know, served this country. You know what I'm saying? Met a lot of good people, man. Made a lot of lifelong friends. and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you wonder if the country love you back the way you love it. And is the question is easy. No. It's one of them deals like the country don't love you the way you love, your country or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one of those deals, and I think it's time for us as a people, as Black people, to stop. Okay, so let me say this in a way that people will get my point. Okay, so we need to stop doing away with the stuff like she too dark, light skin this, all that kind of stuff. Man, black is black, and it's beautiful. Black is beautiful, man. And sisters be out here, they be fake everything, fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake nails, all that stuff, just to try to be more acceptable. You don't have to do that. You black is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to look like somebody else. You can look just like yourself. Be yourself. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate our sisters for being naturally who they are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and listen, I get other races do it too. And I know they do it. It's not just that. It's just not to, that's not a black thing. That's an everybody thing. But our sisters don't deal with more stuff like the self-esteem issues, you know what I'm saying? And all that. So they come from broken families and all that stuff. Black girl, hey, you are beautiful. You don't need all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what you need? All you need is to be patient, because my man is gonna come along eventually. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be patient. But saying all of that, man. Listen, man, I appreciate the time, man. I'm gonna get in here and
I want
get.
to say one last thing. I think there has to be better communication with the neighborhood and with the cops.
Right.
And I feel like they're gonna have to come to. It's gonna come to a point where they're gonna have to, really teach these cops how to deal with the community and people within the community of color, because this stuff cannot keep going on. It can't keep being the same thing over and over. And over.
So what's their motivation to do that, though, dog?
I feel it's up to the politicians and people of Congress to enforce that, to have the cops be in these neighborhoods. Don't just be in the neighborhoods when you like going after somebody that fit the crime. Be in the neighborhood and talk to people in the neighborhoods. That's how you build a relationship. Because I feel like people automatically in the neighborhood don't like the cops because of how they are perceived. And I feel like they have to be up to the cops to change the perception of them, because they might be good cops. People say there's good cops out there. All of these shootings that's going on, those are not good cops. Because those outcomes of Breonna Taylor and Sean Bell and Amadou Diallo, none of that would have happened if they were good cops. That would at those incidents.
Not just Larry Davis. This is going back years. Remember Larry Davis?
Right, Larry Davis. Right.
Yeah, Yusef Hawkins. This is stuff that's what I'm saying. Stuff that go back years and years. And
that has to change. Like. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how, but I feel like it can't be on the community itself. It has to be the ones that's enforcing the law that have to go into the neighborhoods and they got to change. It has to change, because this stuff is going to keep happening if it doesn't. There's no change, and you can't.
I think we have to do it. I think we also have to introduce that same energy into the school districts. You know what I'm saying? I think we had that, and the reason why I say that is. And before, I wasn't trying to cut you off, man. You know what I'm saying, in terms of because I know, you know what I'm saying, we can do this for like 5 hours straight, dog, of just, you know what I'm saying, getting it in. Right. But I think we gotta introduce it into the school district too, because we gotta have our communities feel like they have a sense of worth. You know what I'm saying? Like when they go to school, you can't feel like they separate. Like Lil Johnny doesn't do things like how white people do things. All of a sudden, he's a bad kid. No, you can't have it be like that. You can't ingrain that into our kids. Right. Like do it the mainstream way, or you're an animal. it can't be an ultimate outcome like that. You have to understand other people's culture. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like oh, go ahead. I'm gonna say something after you finish.
I think we have to invest money in our school districts and stuff in education in order to have people understand, especially our black kids early on. They have to understand they are valuable to society also. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go to school and every school book you read, like K through 4, has like the lily white school books where everything good is white.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? By the time, and then they come home and then they watching Scarface culture at home.
Man.
That all it does is make them feel like they don't fit in society.
Mm-hmm.
But what people don't realize is society is a makeup of everybody. Society is a makeup of everyone. Everybody in your hood is a part of society. Whether you see them in a magazine, whether they're your neighbor next door, whether you see them on a movie or a music video, if you see them they're part of your life. You know what I'm saying? And some of the stuff is on us too, where we need to decriminalize some of the stuff that we watch, right? Because we have a fascination with we have a fascination with The Wire. Right. You know what I'm saying? We feel like, oh, that's our man. You know what I'm saying? And we have a fascination with Scarface. Right. You know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff, I feel like we should have a balance, because movie and cinema is important for us for entertainment, but also we have to make sure that we post positive role models out there for our kids to see and not portray them as being soft.
Yeah, I agree. I think what I was gonna say was like these Karens is what they calling them in the night, the neighborhood watch people that are taking it upon themselves to, take the law into their own hands. They need to be tried, just like these cops that are getting away with these killings. You know what I'm saying? Because right. There's no reason why a 14-year-old boy that goes to the store with his hoodie on to get some iced tea and some Skittles, and then coming back, minding his business, going home, is shot in cold blood, and nothing is done about that. That has to change.
Right, and it's not like the dude just jumped out on him. Right. He followed my man.
Exactly.
He followed Trayvon Martin. Exactly. He basically said this dude fit the profile of somebody dangerous, so I got to make sure I protect them from somebody dangerous. Man, listen. Dude was a kid.
Yeah.
A kid. Come on, man. Dude was a kid minding his business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we take fear mongering to a level where it's okay to kill people. You know what I mean? To me, it's ridiculous. Fear mongering is not just something that's new, but it turned its tide. So it was introduced more in the 1870s, but in like the 1920s or whatever, man, look, somebody took that to a whole new level, because fear mongering makes money. That's the deal. Fear mongering makes money, and so if you can have people feel like their house needs to be a fortress from this young black super predator. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You upsell people so the people houses will be like Fort Knox, and B, it gives you the motivation and carte blanche to kill black people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's to a point now where you can't even watch TV without commercials saying, "Hey, white people, buy this extra product to make your house like a fortress." And at the same time, you turn to CNN and it's another black man killed for absolutely no reason, or our black queens are getting killed in cold blood while they sleep. So, yeah, man.
Something has to change, because I feel like it's open season on black people now more than ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Something has to change, because if it don't, it's just gonna come to the point where this whole world is gonna be one big race war, and it's gonna be like riots and fighting every day, and I don't think we want that.
Right. And the sad thing about that is we watched this movie, Menace to Society. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when the teacher was in the classroom and telling them young boys that the hunt is on and they are the prey?
Rock.
Yep. That was like 25, 30 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And today that message is just as heavy today as it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I blame some of this stuff on the coonery and buffoonery that we have, like, from people that are black and famous, like your Kanye West wearing a Confederate flag outfit, and then expecting us to come back and be like, you know, hey Kanye, we knew you was going through something. Nah, dog. In real life, me and you probably get one chance, and if we blow it, we regret it for the rest of our life. Kanye West get hundreds of chances, and every chance he get, he'll do something to outlandish. You know what I'm saying? And we give him plenty of chances. Like wearing a Confederate flag outfit one time, I'm like, okay, but when you do it in succession over and over again, and then say, well, slavery was a choice. You know what I'm saying? You like, like W.E.B. Du Bois said, you should have 10% of the people speaking for the other 90% of the population. Because sometimes people get out and they say the most outlandish things, and it creates dangerous messages. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this dude wearing a Confederate flag outfit saying slavery was a choice when we know slavery was not a choice? We got stripped of our religion, our everything. You know what I'm saying? Of our way of life, the way we do things, our families, all this stuff. We don't even know. Some people can't even trace their lineage accurately because of slavery. And this dude is saying, Kanye is saying stuff like that. But, I mean,
and what's crazy is a couple years ago, he was the same person on Jimmy Kimmel show and talking about how, the fashion industry is blackballing him and they won't support his line. And, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, Kanye, I just look at it like as Kanye being Kanye. And I think he does a lot of stuff for shock value to get people talking. So, I mean, I don't even, when he gets on Twitter and he wears the hat and he's supporting Trump, I don't really pay attention to him because I know at this point we already know who he is, who the type of person that he is, and what he's going to do.
Right.
So nothing surprises me about him anymore.
Right. It's just it's frustrating to me though, in a way, because the thing with my man is this. I feel like the older we get, the more that we should value our role model status. Right. Like you and I, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody that's, we're fortunate to make it out of our 20s and 30s. So now we have a story to tell, right? I feel like the story that we tell should not be one of conjecture and selfishness, but one of what can we say in a positive way that's going to help make this trail easier for those that follow us. That's what we should be saying, right? Like, kind of like how I alluded to earlier, or not alluded to, basically how I spoke to earlier, how people basically call me Uncle Freezie because they come to me because they know I value their life situations and I'm not going to steer them wrong, right? Versus a dude like Kanye West who takes his platform and wears the Confederate flag as something to try to prove a point, pissing on Grammys, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is he did. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think our society, we can improve our society just by using common sense.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like for instance, we can get together and have conversations just like this one, and post them out there for people to see, and subscribe to the channel and like and all that stuff. Y'all know I'll be big on that, but have conversations like this that move the needle forward, and though our personal agendas may be separate or individualized and maybe even headed in different directions, but we can have conversations that So at least the common ground that we agree on, we can help each other push the stuff together, push the stuff forward for the stuff that's on common ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, things are what they are. All right. Well, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Unless you got something else. And listen, I enjoy having you on, man. Our conversations I didn't even want to go this way, but y'all, it's just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the conversation just does what it does. You know, I wanted to kind of sneak some sneaker stuff in because I got hit up on Twitter by one of the cats on Nick's Twitter about how his Carmelo 2s fell apart. I wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit, but maybe we can talk about some shoes on a sneakers on a different show.
Okay.
You okay with that?
I'm done with that. Yeah. I'm done.
Okay. So chop it up, fans. I don't know when that'll be, but that soon come. So we'll try to get that out there. I would like to do that, have that be live. You know what I'm saying? Just so that we can get input from the audience. You know what I'm saying? So they can, you know what I'm saying, maybe touch on some stuff that I may forget. Trying to put together a list based on Triboro asked me to. He's sneaky smart, y'all. He jabbed me with a sneaker question. You know what I'm saying? Like a top 10, and I'm gonna save it for y'all. I'm gonna put it whenever we go live. I'm gonna put it out there in the thumbnail so that y'all can see it, so that y'all know we actually put some time and research into it. Hey. So follow my man on all his socials. I'm gonna let him jump in and say all that stuff. But make sure if y'all don't do nothing else, make sure y'all subscribe to That Ain't Rap. Because the conversations on there be fire sometimes. Sometimes they tongues be so sharp on there. I be like, yo, if these artists ever meet them in public, it might be a shootout.
You can make a whole episode on that stuff alone, like just like saying stuff on social media and artists hear what I say and they don't like it. Like, I can make a whole episode on that.
Right.
I mean, I'm just speaking my truth. I'm not saying people should agree with what I'm thinking. I'm just saying, like, I have my own opinions on everything.
Right.
But yeah, right. But yeah, That Ain't Rap, YouTube.com. Check me out on there. Just sharing my interest with the whole community on there, and just being different and discussing things that everybody else not discussing. Today it might be comics, tomorrow it might be sneakers or movies or whatever. So it's just everything that I discuss is all, my interests and stuff that I like.
Hey, we definitely got to do comics because I have a take on Venom.
Okay.
I have a take on Venom, right? And so when I read Venom number one, the take immediately jumped into my head about how basically Venom. Okay, so him and Spider-Man have the symbiotic relationship, right? When in all this, so I ain't gonna really get into. All I'm gonna say is this: be careful about when you read Venom, because sometimes when you read it, you're like, is this really Peter Parker, or is this the alien? It makes you think. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about beyond, and I'm not talking about in a Darth Vader choosing sides kind of way, or a Batman's frustration level gets him to the point where he becomes the Dark Knight. What I'm saying is I think Venom may be Peter Parker's personality, and he was actually forcing himself to be the good guy when naturally he may have been Venom. But it's just something to think about. Just something to think about. So, but anyway, make sure y'all check out Triboro, man, for all his stuff, man. I think my man is super insightful with some takes. And of course, I'm doing this for Chop It Up. I also have the channel Lawrence Tears for Knicks fans and Mets fans. that have been having their hearts ripped out over the years. So we have some
what do you
stuff.
think about them? Like, do you feel like the Mets have a chance to go to the playoffs?
No. Conforto pulled his hamstring.
Right.
So he out for the season. And so we had to win like the last 5 and we lost last night. So I feel like we got to get Guillermo on so that we can talk about that. So, and speaking of which, make sure y'all check out Legion of Knicks podcast with my man Guillermo. Check out Sam Russell, Nothing But Knicks. I want to make sure I shout those guys out too, because a lot of us, we're in this unofficial network of guys. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a Wu-Tang Clan type scenario where everybody kind of get together, but everybody's kind of doing their own thing kind of at the same time. So make sure y'all check those guys out. And if y'all like videos like this, make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, comment in the comment section below, and share on your social medias. Again, this is your man, Uncle Freezie, joined graciously by Triboro Gigolo, coming through. Man, listen, dude's super talented in there. Make sure y'all check out his stuff.
Thanks, appreciate it, man.
Peace.
Always down to talk, so thanks.
For sure.
Peace.